In order to run the examples of Chapter 9, you need to have Node.js in at least version 20 installed. You will also need npm at least version 10, which is usually coming together with the installation of Node.js. In order to clone the repository, you will need to have Git installed. Now in the right directory, what I can do is I can just run the run script, and this one will actually also go through all the different micro frontends and install their respective dependencies. Now one thing that's not covered here is the application. Well, that's already installed in the first step. So we got the application and the micro frontends all being installed just with the one single script. And then finally what this script is doing, it will actually start all the different micro frontends and the application shell. So let's run the shell script. And let's see what it does. It will actually fire up 4 different web servers. 1, 2, 3, 4 we already see. We see 2003, 2001, and there's also 2002 somewhere. But we are mostly interested in the aggregation layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, we got our tractor example again. We can click around, and if we compare this to the server-side rendering solution, what we see is that this feels much smoother. But it comes, of course, at the cost of being, for instance, combined with more data to load initially. Plus, there is no session storage in the backend, meaning on a refresh, we lose the information in this example. Now, how is the code looking like? Well, on the aggregation layer, we just use 4 web components. And we get them in by going to our 3 different micro frontends and actually importing, on the one hand, our product page, on the other hand, basket info and buy button for the blue team, and from the green team we get the product recommendations. Now, in order to kick things off, we just use the product page from the red micro frontend, but this itself then has other custom tags that refer, for instance, to the basket info or to the product recommendations. So if we would look at the red micro frontend, this is just a very simple code. Doesn't use any framework, so it just combines together a little bit of text to actually create the HTML that should then be seen by the browser. And in this HTML we see that we use the custom components. So here's a custom element called basket info. So this is a web component that represents the basket info of the blue micro frontend. And for instance, also of the green micro frontend, the product recommendations can be seen here. Ideally, you want to use some framework that at least, let's say, makes this re-rendering process a lot more efficient than just setting inner HTML. But for the example, this is enough to showcase how web components can be used to export functionality from different micro frontends.